Hi guys, it's Megan from Skinny Fidelicious. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan and I am the author of the popular blog and website Skinny Fidelicious. So I'm also a nutrition practitioner and I coach people and help them to lose weight every day. It's such a great privilege, and one of the biggest challenges I find with the clients that I coach and with the readers on my website is finding the time to make healthy recipes, or just finding healthy recipes that are easy to make, are easy to prep in advance, and have super simple ingredients. Because let's face it, there are tons of recipes all over the internet. And a lot of times I look at them, and if they have more than 10 recipes, I am completely out because it's way too much work. So today I'm going to show you a super simple recipe, making meatballs using a muffin tin. So this is a perfect way to perfectly portion out your food, and then you can, once you cook them in the muffin tin, you're going to bake them in the oven. Once you bake them in the oven, you're actually going to be able to portion them out for the week. So you can have a healthy lunch or a healthy dinner already prepped, and it's only going to take you 20 minutes or less. So let's show you how it's done. These are barbecue meatballs. So first of all, to start, I've got just some ground turkey breast. Now you can also do some like lean beef or some ground chicken. Any of that would work here. You can do any of that, but I just did turkey because turkey is one of my favorite things to make with meatballs. And then I have one large egg that I put in here, some salt, and then my seasoning mix. So for the barbecue, because I'm making these barbecue meatballs, and by the way, you can customize these totally to your liking. If you don't like barbecue, you can just throw in some Italian seasoning and call it done. But I wanted to do a barbecue flavor for today, so I've got a barbecue spice rub. All I did was I mixed a ½ teaspoon of chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. So I'm going to toss that in here with my ground turkey. The other thing that I did was I sauteed about 4 tablespoons of a white onion that's diced, as well as 1/8 cup of shredded carrot. So because I'm using turkey breast, it's a little bit leaner and you need a little bit of moisture to help stick the meatballs together. So I'm adding that for moisture, plus you're getting all of those extra veggies in your diet. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in here. And then the other thing that I'm going to go ahead and add is some flour. You need something to help it hold together besides the egg, something that's going to give it substance. And one of the things I don't like about most meatball recipes is they either use white flour, which is highly processed, super bad for you, disrupts hormones, causes all kinds of problems in the body. And then, or I see a lot of recipes that use panko breadcrumbs, and those aren't gluten-free. And because I have Hashimoto's disease, I can't do that. I need some kind of a gluten-free option. You could do gluten-free breadcrumbs. That would probably work too. There's a lot of gluten-free breads out there. But again, you have to be really careful when you look at the labels. Just because something says it's gluten-free or paleo or vegan, doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy, doesn't necessarily mean it's weight loss friendly, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to disrupt some of your hormones in your body. So you have to be really careful when it comes to those types of things. So I'm going to use today what's called cassava flour. And this isn't, sponsored anyway. It's just one of the flours that I love to use. It's a paleo flour made from potato roots. So you could do oat flour, you could do some almond flour. There's all kinds of different, gluten-free friendly flours that you could do. You could even do just like a 1-to-1 gluten-free, regular flour. That's a replacement flour. That will work just fine here. So I'm going to dump a ½ cup in here with my turkey. And then in addition, I have my low sugar barbecue sauce. So I keep I make this, once every quarter or so, and I keep it in the refrigerator because it's just great to have on hand to top on chicken breast or throw on pizza, whatever you want. I just love having this in the refrigerator, and it's lower in sugar, so there's lower calories, and it just tastes delicious. I love having it. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons to the meatloaf, and then these are your tools, your hands. I'm just going to start breaking up the meat with my hands and the egg. And I'm just going to start mixing this up. Now, there's different ways that you can make your meatballs. I've got several meatball recipes on my website. But I find that a lot of the people that I coach, one of the biggest issues that they have is portioning the food because they tend to overeat it. And so sometimes if you just bake something in the oven, like, you know, like a meatball, you tend to not get the right portion sizes. So muffin tin is really great, and I'm using a mini muffin tin. You could do a larger one if you want your meatballs to be a little bit on the larger side. I'm just gonna do a mini one because they're just perfect sizes for meatballs. So again, you could bake this in the skillet, you could bake it in the oven, on a sheet pan. There's so many ways that you could do this. I'm just showing you one option that works really well. Okay, so I've got my meat all mixed up and my hands are nice and dirty. So now I'm just gonna perfectly roll these into balls. See, here's one of my balls, and I'm gonna drop it in my meat pan. And I'm gonna bake these, so I'm gonna continue doing this. I'm gonna fill this. I'm gonna get about 12 to 15 meatballs filled here, okay? And there's about 24 muffin cavities here. So if you're feeding a big family, you're gonna wanna double the recipe and you can make a whole bunch. And these will freeze as well. So you can freeze them prior to baking or the day that you bake them. So another great option for those who need healthy meals, want them quick, want to know how to, you know, have them available and on hand as easy recipes for your big family, especially on those busy weeknights. So yeah, great recipe to do. I'm gonna bake this in the oven, 375 for about 20 minutes until they're golden brown. And then I'm gonna bring them out of the oven and I'm gonna pair them with some green beans and some healthy tater tots. And I'm gonna top my meatballs with more barbecue sauce because I love it so much. So that's a healthy recipe today. I'm gonna be bringing the recipe to the blog soon, so make sure that you stop by frequently to get the recipe. Bye guys.